Hello, stranger. How the hell are you doing? Welcome back to the James Kennedy podcast. I know I've been away for a little while. Please do forgive me. I've been a busy boy, man, rocking and rolling with the James Kennedy and the Underdogs juggernaut. I've started penning yet another book. And, trying to work on a little bit of the old work-life balance, a little bit of self-care and well-being as well. So, when you're doing that, you have to drop some of the load. And as someone that is not used to doing that, trust me, it's a struggle. But I'm forcing myself to get a little bit of balance in my life so that I don't burn out in a blaze of self-destruction, as I tend to do periodically. But since we last spoke, I've also been doing more on the Free Julian Assange campaign. I was back in London outside the Royal Courts of Justice just 2 weeks ago as a presenter for Stella Assange's social channels, where I was, interviewing members of the public and the high-profile speakers that were there and just keeping people updated as to what was coming out of the courtroom live in the moment on the streets as it happened. I also did an interview myself with WikiLeaks, which was pretty cool. You can see that on my YouTube channel. And I will continue to be involved in that campaign for as long as it takes, man, because Julian Assange is a hero who should be walking free now. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we are here to talk about rock and fucking roll, man. And today's guest is a walking manifestation of rock and roll badassery, fucking multi-talented, multi-dimensional, hardcore, hard-living, hard-riffing, cool as fuck, kick-ass motherfucker. I have toured Europe with this gent. We locked horns, unfortunately, due to fuckery that was nothing to do with either of us two. But then we kissed and made up, not literally, in Belgium a few years back, before the whole world went to shit. So it's been a while, but we've got loads to catch up on, and this guy is busy, so he's got a lot of shit to share with you guys today. So check the hiss out. From the bands Channel Zero, Woyote, and the legendary Snot. That's right, we're talking with guitarist, producer, songwriter, and all-round badass, Mr. Mikey fucking Doling. How are you doing, sir? It's been a while.
I'm good, man. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, brother. You're rocking the classic Mikey Doling look there, man. Looking cool. What are you up to right now, man?
I'm on my way to a rehearsal, actually, right now.
Fucking hell, bro, you don't stop, man. You're putting us all to shame. So which band, you got a few things going on, which we're going to get into. So which band are you rehearsing with today, man? What's happening?
Okay, well, right now I am writing the newest Woyote album. It would be the second Woyote album. The first one, Mother of the Universe, we were really happy with. It seemed like people liked it a lot. The reviews were good. And it's been about 3 years, so we're ready to go with the second record now. And I'm working right now with Chris Collier. He's the producer for the band Korn.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually he's doing his second record with them as we speak right now. So I'm working in between when he's not busy with Korn.
Right.
I'm driving to Las Vegas from Orange County, California, and I'll spend like 3 or 4 days at his house, and we'll be recording and writing the new Woyote stuff.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The band kicks ass, brother, honestly. Like, you've got a timeless sound about you, man, which I'm going to get into, talking about your back catalogue and everything. But I mean, Woyote, they're based in Europe, right? Have I got that right?
Well, Woyote are friends of mine. The majority of Woyote are friends of mine from Belgium. Just wonderful guys. Charles Delgadia, he's the drum tech for Channel Zero.
Right.
He's the drummer for Woyote. My buddy Yari D. Ruver plays guitar. He's kind of the guy who I started the band with, actually. And my buddy Quentin Cornett, fantastic guitar player. I've known him since he was a kid. There's 3 guitar players in the band.
Yeah.
And then my dear, dear, dear friend Aaron Nordstrom from the band Gemini Syndrome, which I produced their first album, which got them a record deal over at Warner Brothers. He's the singer for Woyote. So it's pretty cool, man. And we got a new bass player. I'm not going to give his name up yet because we haven't played even a rehearsal with him yet, right. But it looks like he's going to do just fine. So yeah, Woyote's kind of all over the world, if you will.
I love the sound. The sound is right up my fucking street. And of course, you know, we got to talk about Channel Zero because, I mean, you're in like the biggest fucking band in Belgium and much of Europe, you know. How the fuck does a guy who lives in Orange County like manage to be in a very busy band in Belgium? You spent a lot of time on an airplane.
Well, I mean, how I got into the band, it's a really cool story. Channel Zero has been around for more than 30 years. They're huge.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago, I can't believe I've been in the band 15 years. They were doing a reunion because they had broken up a few years before that. So I guess about 10 or 12 years into their career, they broke up for a few years. And then there was this manager guy named Marlon Wagemans, who's still our manager now. He approached Frankie, the singer of Channel Zero, and said, "Hey, why don't we do one reunion show? One at a venue called the a venue called the Ancien Belgique in Brussels. I don't know if you know this venue, but it's one of the greatest venues in Europe. It's amazing. It's about 2,000 seater. It's 3 levels high. It's just beautiful, man. It's all wood, so it just sounds really good. So they put 1 day of tickets on sale and it sold out in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. So they're like, shit, well, let's put another day on. 20 minutes again, now 2 days. They kept going and it ended up being 7 nights sold out. Wow. 2,000 seater, 14,000 tickets. Okay. They did this like in 1 day. So they stopped. They're like, whoa, this is catching fire. Right. I wasn't in the band yet and they were promoting it. And then their guitar player, their original guitar player, quit the band, just randomly quit the band. They've already committed to these 7 nights. So they were in a little bit of a panic. So they were putting their feelers out for guitar players. They even tried or were communicating with Danny Spitz from Anthrax, a bunch of other guitar players. I think they tried out like, I don't know, 15 dudes. And my buddy, Lawrence Custers manages Sick of It All and I believe Social D. He's pretty huge, but he's sort of a Belgian icon in the music industry.
Right.
I'm friends, just friends. We had, you know, we never worked together or anything. We actually tried to start a little mini label, but that didn't work out. But anyway, he told them that he had a guy, and that was me. And Frankie, the singer for Channel Zero, just so happened to recently discover the Snot album. So when they talked to him, Frankie was like, yeah, can you get a hold of him? We'd love to check him out. So Lawrence contacted me, and I was not with any band at that time. It was like 2008 that he contacted me. I had just left Soulfly and all that. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to check it out. So I grabbed my flying V and my backpack, flew to Belgium. We got in a room. We jammed out as if we'd been in a band together for 20 years. It was effortlessly seamless. We had a connection. We felt like we'd been friends all our lives. I mean, it was crazy. We were literally played as if we played an entire set on my tryout. We were all sweating, and they looked at me. They looked at each other and literally said, "You want the gig?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was yeah, it was cool. So I was only committed to the band to do those 7 nights at the AB in Brussels. When we started rehearsing for those shows, you know, I started kind of playing guitar in the background, and me and Frankie, the singer, we were rooming together in preparation for this show. And he kept looking over at me and hearing these riffs I was playing. He's like, well, what's that? We weren't planning on me even joining the band, let alone doing another album. I was just feeling. And I was like, it's just something I'm fucking with. And he was like, that's amazing. Can I record it? I'm like, sure. So he had this little handheld recorder. And I think we did that like 20 times, you know? And he was like, fuck, Mikey. I was not planning on recording a record, but now you're really getting me interested. I'm like, cool. So we played those 7 shows. They went great. They were all sold out. It was like total friendship, chemistry great. So they asked me if I'd like to actually join the band full time. Kind of during those shows, it all made sense. I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then, boom, I was in the band. Sorry, long story, but I think
great.
It's so interesting. I like sharing it.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, so then we ended up, and now I've written 4 records with them. And one of them's gold, and the other ones are real close to gold. These days, records just don't go gold anymore.
100%.
But the first one actually went gold with sales. But since then, it's all streams now, so it's hard to tell what's what.
Yeah.
But we still, to this day, I've been in the band almost 15 years. I think September will be 15 years. We still play all the big festivals. We still sell out almost. We do sell out every show we play out there. It's killer. I just love the guys in the band like brothers. 15 years now, we're real close. And I love being in Channel Zero, man. It's cool.
Oh, I bet, man. Yeah, no, the band fucking rocks, man. I saw you guys last in a festival in Utrecht in Belgium. Okay. Actually, I saw you twice because I was hanging out with your tour manager, Jürgen, for the weekend. And I saw you guys at a massive festival there as well. I can't remember what it was called. Because a lot of beers were consumed in the time that I was there, man. We were actually hanging out several times during that weekend. I don't know if you can remember because I certainly cannot. Jürgen had to remind me the next day that we were hanging out doing shots and drinking brewskis, and I can't even fucking remember being in the bar.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Belgium is anything, it's the beer capital of the world, and the beers fucking kick your face in, and I'm sure we drink a lot of it.
Oh, hell yeah. And the fact that you can't remember either makes me feel like less of a prick. But no, man, that weekend was a fucking blast, and Channel Zero just absolutely fucking slayed every single night. But I wanted to ask you, now as someone who's been in, a fucking massive, I would say classic, game-changing, influential American band with a classic album, and also, a fucking ginormous band in Europe. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the difference between the rock and metal scenes in America versus the rock and metal scenes in Europe? How is it different?
I mean, the American scene's cool and all, but it's kind of like this WWF thing, it seems like Europe is a little deeper in the art of it, and Americans seem to be a little more into like the image or the fuck yeah, man, They love Five Finger Death Punch, because of that reason. But in Europe, though, like other bands, I don't know who to say, but I don't know. It just seems like Europe's a little deeper in the artistic side of it as opposed to the meathead side of it. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend America. It's my country. I love it. But Europe is just more supportive. You show up to a venue in Europe and they got good food.
Yep.
The venue's clean. It's pristine.
Yeah.
Always the sound system kicks ass.
Yep.
The stages are you show up in America, you're going to show up, they ain't feeding you shit. It just seems like the European promoters, the fans, everything all around really respects and loves the bands and take care of them. Like I said, you show up, the venues are clean, the people show up, you're eating good, the showers work. You know what I mean? In America, you show up and you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the difference of Europe and the U.S. for me.
What do you think about the UK then? Because everything you've just said about America, I feel is the same in the UK. They treat you like dog shit.
Okay. The England, the UK is just like America. It's famous. Never use a UK tour bus company. They'll show up, nothing works. Right? It's always a piece of shit. You get something from Germany, it's going to work great. UK and the US, they kind of have a we don't give a fuck attitude.
100%. Yeah, no, I totally agree with all of that, man. And speaking of tour buses, we've got to talk about the tour that we did with you guys, because that was very bittersweet for us, man. You know, we're sort of like, you know, we're on a tour with the fucking iconic, legendary Snot around Europe. The sun is shining. Fucking life is good. But I think we were cursed, man, all of us, because you had a fucking jumbo-sized double-decker tour bus that nothing fucking worked on and kept breaking down. I think it must have been from fucking England. And the AC didn't work. You had to change to a fucking 2 splitters halfway through the tour. We were fucking sleeping in a transit van. Our drummer's dad had a stroke. He had to fly back after the first gig in Spain. All sorts of carnage. And then our manager fucked both of us over for the tour support money that we were supposed to contribute, unbeknown to ourselves. So we're like, hey, fucking, oh, why does this band fucking hate us? You know, we had no idea what the fuck was going on. It was a tough one. But that tour always sort of stands out to me as one of my favorites or most memorable tours, I think, because of the sheer intensity of it, of all the carnage that we were carrying throughout, but also the fact that we got to watch you guys every single night absolutely fucking boss it on stage. It was an education and a real fucking honor and a privilege to be a part of, and to be able to watch that up close every night and to see the inner workings of the Snot machinery was a real honor, man, despite the horror show that was going on behind the scenes.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's always fun. Snot, I mean, we've rarely done anything since Lynn Strait passed away. You know, our dear brother, who we still miss. It's been 20-something fucking 25 years or some shit. But we had Tommy Vex for a minute. We did some stuff with him. He kicked ass. And then we got Carl Bensley, and he kicked ass for us. But we don't do that much, you know. So when we do go out, it seems pretty special for sure. I mean, I am definitely getting that itch again, you know, so I'm actually kind of on the search for a singer that could actually pull it off, because I would probably put Snot back together to do some festivals maybe next summer. You know, 2025 would be cool.
Oh, man, fuck, that would be so cool.
Yeah. So if any singers think they can pull it off, hit me up. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so...
Bro, I'm going to throw it out there, mate. That is not a fucking easy gig to fill. I mean, Carl did a fucking insane job, but I don't know how the fuck anyone can sing like Lynn Strait, because that is just... Who sings like that? You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I love that album. I got that album in the car. That is my fucking screaming my head off in the car. I get to about the second chorus and I'm fucking blown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, man. At the time, I used to tell Lynn, man, you got to do that shit live, you know? You're going to be able to pull it off, and he did.
Yeah.
But he gave himself 2 hernias singing that shit live. He had surgery and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was just pretty hardcore stuff.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, Carl Bensley, who we went out with when we were with you guys, was fucking amazing. Did a great fucking job, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Carl kicked ass. Carl just had a baby. He's married. He's got full-time work. He can't really do it anymore. So I'm looking for someone new that can. Because I think if Snot put the word out there, some of these festivals we'd get on there, especially now, it seems like the new metal thing, which we were part of, I would, say that proudly. I think that nowadays, even more than when we toured with you guys, I think there's even more interest now.
Oh, 100%, man. And so many people would love to see that. I mean, what does it feel like to have a classic album? Because exactly like you just said, that album, it doesn't sound like, although it's from the era that, people would lump in with new metal, it doesn't sound as like dated in any way like a lot of those records do now. Like you can put on Get Some and it sounds like it could have been released fucking yesterday. You know what I mean? It's one of those timeless records. How does that feel to have that?
I mean, it feels fucking great. I gotta say that when I listen to it, I love it. I get it, but I do cringe at times because some of the stuff, the topics that we're singing, you know what I mean? Like, we were young at the time. We're in our 20s. You know what I mean? My balls, your chin, all that shit. We're Snot. We're coming to your town, clocking all the girls. That's the young man lyrics, and now I'm older dude, pushing 50. It's hard to listen to sometimes, but yeah, it's badass. I get it. It's a good album. It feels good.
That's great fun, man. And yeah, I mean, like to have that up your sleeve, bro. I mean, fucking hell. What an achievement. You know what I mean? And the fact that people are still loving it just as much today. You know what I mean? That's like, it's insane.
It's crazy. I'll say it's one record we did, one album.
Yep.
It's 27 years later or something. And it seems like it's going stronger than ever. We see the numbers and streams when we get our publishing checks, and they're getting bigger. And we're like, what is going on? How are more people streaming this than ever? But it is. It's one album we put out, and it's strong. I'm so thankful, you know.
It's one of those records, every now and then you can tell when everybody is just on. You know what I mean? Like you listen to Dark Side of the Moon or something like that. Like every now and then a record comes along that's just like all the stars seem to have aligned. The production is on, the band is on, the energy is on, and it just feels like everything is just fucking in the right place, you know?
You know, when we did that album, we really had a vision of exactly how we wanted that album to sound and roll. If you listen, the album is one piece. It's not a song and then a song. It's a fucking piece of work from start to finish. Yeah. And we purposely made it that way, you know, with the, just the way it rolls, man. Hips and valleys and heights and lows. And, you know, we really I'm proud of that, you know, that we accomplished that.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, yeah, what a piece of rock history, man. So thank you for doing it, bro, because it's still one of my favorite records. And I really hope that you can find someone fucking good enough and insane enough to be able to pull off Lynn duties.
You know, I got to say, I mean, there's times I'm like, yeah, I'm never doing Snot again, ever. But I'm out there watching all these tours pop up and these festivals pop up, you know, when we were young, Sick New World in Vegas, and it's all the bands that we fucking toured with and played with 25 years ago are doing all these things. I'm like, Snot fucking belongs on those.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and if we did, I think that not the entire, but I think a lot of people in the crowd would be like, what? Snot's fucking playing?
Oh,
I think we'd kick ass on those.
100%, man. There'd be a lot of fucking love for that, man. Yeah, let's see if we can make it happen, man. I'm gonna go fucking hunting for a singer for you.
Let me know.
Well, speaking of bands, like seeing bands popping up and stuff that you've toured with, have you been keeping up with what's been happening with your brothers in Skindred and you know, with Dub War? Dub War played with you guys back in the day. Skindred are crushing it right now, man.
Bro, first I'll say Dub War. Those guys were literally brothers to Snot back in the day. We toured all over America with Dub War, you know. I mean, just love them all. Jeff, Rich, Ginge, you know, fucking Benji, of course. They're fucking genius singer. They're brothers to us. And now Benji goes and does it again, even bigger, with Skindred. And that fucking band, those records are incredible.
Yep.
You know? God, man, I listen to that stuff and I'm just blown away. And I'm also blown away at the drive with Benji Webb. I mean, that dude, he's first of all, he's a star. And he fucking works his ass off.
Oh, yeah.
And he's really, they're blowing up, I believe.
Bro, they're bigger than ever. They just did their own headline show at Wembley Arena. They were #2 in the album charts, #1 in the midweek album charts. They're in Australia at the moment doing festivals and shit. And they're bigger than ever, man. They've been on mainstream TV, on the biggest fucking TV music shows and stuff. They're like household name now. Yeah, it's beautiful to see.
That's fantastic. Benji and the Skindred guys, I've met a few times. They're just sweethearts, man. I'm happy for them. I actually hung out with them in Japan once. I was living over there and they came through. Yeah. And I took Benji out and got him shit-faced stuffed with food. And yeah. And yeah, I had a great time with their show in Tokyo.
Well, Benji is a 1 in a million, man. He really is a fucking dude. Like, I'm very honored and privileged to be able to call him a friend. And he's just got a great attitude, man. And you're right, he works his fucking ass off. And the guy's got talent by the fucking truckload as well. So big love to Benji and the boys in Skindred as they continue to blitzkrieg their way across the world into the hearts and minds and souls of the undeserving. But before we get back to what you've got going on, man, because you've always got something awesome in the pipeline, I wanted to ask you what you think about the state of the music industry today. Because you're a guy you got several decades in the business now. I mean, you were around in the old industry, the old model, and you're still fucking kicking ass in the new model. And I always ask people who've seen both sides of the transition, what are your thoughts on the industry today? Is it better? Is it worse? Or is it just different? What do you think?
Oh, man, it's hard to say, but back in the day, Snot, we signed close to a $500,000 record deal with Geffen Records, okay? Which is crazy. Nowadays, you could never do that. They would treat us like kings. We'd eat. They bought us instruments. They bought us clothing. They put us on fucking tours. They went out and worked radio for us. It was incredible in those days. Nowadays, what's cool is the internet. You can actually put your own music out. It's tricky. I still don't even really understand how to capitalize on it with social media and all that. But it seems like, I don't know, they're just two different animals. They're both cool in their own way. There's still bands out there completely exploding and they're doing it themselves. It's funny is that I'll see little record labels. I'm like, well, what are you selling? What are you doing? What are you doing for the band? They don't do shit. They don't have anything they can do that you can't do yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's cool these days that you can actually do your own thing, which I am doing myself right now with Woyote. It's hard to say. I mean, I do miss the heyday back in the old days when there was record companies that would spoil you. But
I bet, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's much of an answer, what I just said, but yeah, it's different.
It's just different, yeah. Different problems, I guess. Back in the day, if you couldn't get a deal, you were fucked. But at least now, you can make your own record, you can put it out, and you can at least do your thing. But I think the problem we got now is, like, every motherfucker is doing their thing, and how the hell do you get heard above the noise? And no one's buying music, so when do you make your money,
It's true, man. I think that the way young bands need to make it as territory by territory and get out on the road and play.
Right.
That's the way you do it. You get out there and do it. I mean, I know it sounds easier said than done. It's a young man's game, getting on the road and promoting yourself, but that's really how you do it. You go to every fucking city in the world and play. You figure it out. You sleep in your van. You fucking show up. You play. I mean, I think. I'm pretty old, so I don't know.
Whatever you do, don't do it on tour with Snot, because they'll kick your fucking ass every night and make you feel about this big.
We've done that a few times in the past. We've heard that all the way from 1995. I remember the Deftones kicked us off tour once because we were fucking blowing their doors in, for no reason. We were 3 shows in. We were tiring the crowd out before they went on beyond belief. Sold out shows, small clubs. People were literally there was steam coming out of the fucking venues before they even come on the show. We wore the crowd out. They kicked us off the top.
I don't doubt it for a second, man. Well, Mike, I know you got a rehearsal to get to, bro. So there's loads of things we could get into, man. But before I let you go, what do you want to tell the people? What you got coming up? What's happening? Where do you want them to go?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm going over to Europe in July, all the way through the end of August, and I'm doing a few dates with Woyote. And then I'm doing, I don't know, I think we're doing like 11 shows with Channel Zero. And also we're going to be doing some other promotion stuff with Woyote for the new album that I'm putting together now. If you and listeners here could please go to Spotify or Apple Music and check out Woyote, Mother of the Universe. Please spread the word. I worked really hard on that album. I wrote all the songs along with Aaron Nordstrom from Gemini Syndrome. Him and I put that record together with producer Chris Collier. It's a fucking good album. Check it out. Please get on there. Like, subscribe, whatever it is you do, and spread the word. I really appreciate it. And then I'm putting together the second album for next year.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well, so people can click and go straight to it and listen to it from there. Also, Woyote, you can follow them at Woyote_official on Facebook, and it's at Channel Zero on Facebook. And if you don't mind me chucking your Instagram out there as well, Mike, it's Mikey Doling on Instagram, so they can keep up with what you're doing there.
Yeah, follow me there. Yeah.
And then there's going to be loads of shit coming up. You can keep up what Mikey's up to there with all of his wonderful stuff. And hopefully we can all keep our fingers crossed for maybe another Snot show at some point if someone's brave enough to take the fucking mic. But Mikey, thank you so much for this, brother. It's been a lot of fun. I wish you nothing but the best. And hopefully we'll cross paths again in Europe and sing some more beers and forget all about it like we did last time.
100%. If you can find your way over to Belgium in August, come check out Alcatraz Festival. We're playing there with Armand Armarth and Saxon and a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to even go over to Holland and check out Dynamo. I'm interested in that. So maybe you can come hang out and we'll go do all that together.
It's a fucking deal, bro. Let's do it, man. It'd be great to see you again.
With Jurgen. Yeah, we'll get Jurgen involved.
Fucking hell, right. This is going to get messy. Yes, I'm in. Count me in. Let's do this.
Super down.
Mike, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we managed to do this. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all of the fucking amazing music over the years. Long may you continue to kick ass and inspire and do your thing. Best wishes with everything coming up. And I will see you in August, bro, for those cold ones. In the meantime, take care of yourself, brother.
Thanks for having me, brother. Have a good one.
See you, man. Mikey Doling, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big fucking standing ovation. What a cool dude. I really enjoyed that catch-up, man, because Snot have got a special place in my heart, you know, as they have for many people, but because, you know, we toured with them. And at the tour, like I said, was bittersweet because we were so fucking excited and it was such an awesome tour. And you're playing with fucking Snot every night around Europe in a heat wave, you know what I mean? Life is fucking good. But so much shit went wrong and it was just very, very intense for two very different reasons. So, and also, you know, the band have got a special place in my heart because they're fucking incredible. That album will be played today in my car. Because it's fucking, it just never gets old. It's such a fucking great album, a piece of fucking music history. So to be able to chat to Mike about that and get his thoughts on the record and everything is a real treat. But also, I mean, the guy, you know, is known as the Channel Zero and the Snot guy, but he's done fucking loads of stuff. The guy just puts out music relentlessly, man, and produces records for other people. He's a real tour de force. So if you haven't yet heard his new band, Woyote, please do yourself a favor and go and fucking listen to it right now and turn it up loud. It is fucking awesome. Mike is a good guy. I know he's going to be active for many, many, many more years to come yet, putting out much more great music for us ungrateful motherfuckers. So please do go and give him a follow on his socials on Instagram at Mikey Doling, at Woyote_official on Facebook, and Channel Zero on Facebook also. Whilst you're clicking on stuff, please do subscribe to the podcast as well and share it with your pals. It all really helps us in our endless battle against those fucking algorithms. And I'll be back next week with another episode with another awesome guest. In the meantime, as I always say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Love ya.